Peter Schrager on Pat McAfee.
Yeah, and I think the Niners, they don't give money out, and Kittle had to wait, and other guys had to wait, and Jimmy's still on the salary cap right now for $25 million. So I don't think Deebo's getting it. Just like I said with Kyler, they're not getting it when they want it. They're going to get it when the team wants it.
Okay. Then I see Grant Cohn. Ooh. Deebo Samuel just changed his profile picture on Instagram. It's now blank. Used to be him wearing a Niner jersey. If you go back to this image,
the Niners, you
can
don't
see
give
up
money
there
out, and Kittle had to wait.
When it was McAfee show that Deebo's image on Instagram was still a picture of Deebo in a 49er uniform. But
so you think Deebo was watching McAfee's YouTube?
And now it looks like this, a black circle where his Niner dressed body used to be.
I'm going to sound like Old Man River. And I'm someone who, I'm sure like you and like many people listening, love Instagram. I like Instagram. It's my favorite app of all the social media apps, by far. Not even a close second. It's very enjoyable. I think the scrubbing of the Instagram, as Kyler Murray did, and then he pivoted, and I think he's back. And as Deebo Samuel today, Murray strategy, not of but the move when you're mad about Instagram is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Is absolutely moronic. Doesn't make any sense. It has zero impact on anything related to how much money you're going to get. Do you agree?
I 1,000,000% agree. I 1,000,000% agree. John Lynch should not go running down the office to Kyle Shanahan and go, we got to get this done now. Right?
No. John Lynch is not on Instagram. Kyle Shanahan is not on Instagram. Now, it creates a fun story for the people that are on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and everyone's talking about it. But it has zero impact. And I mean absolutely zero impact on anything. Now, I get he's different, he's a decade younger than us. And I get being mad. I've been in situations, and you have too, when, it's probably different actually, because I'm sure Deebo respects John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan a lot. It's different when you don't respect the people you're negotiating with. But it's human nature to think you're worth more than you're being offered, because I think it's fair to say that there are some offers out there for him from the Niners, and they're probably pretty low relative to, because he had a tweet yesterday when it got announced that Diggs got like $70 million, was like, I think he thinks, and I understand, because the last 8 games is the only thing in his mind. I carried this franchise to the playoffs. And he did. I mean, his quarterback was atrocious, was injured, and he literally turned into a running back and a wide receiver and carried the franchise to the playoffs. But that doesn't encapsulate his entire career. Just a year ago, he showed up fat, and he got injured. Like, Deebo, paying you is for the whole picture, and then moving forward, too. Like, you've been injured just a year ago. Now, you were a team leader this year, a team captain, and everyone loves you. But it's not just a no-brainer to give him $70 million. Stephon Diggs, as we talked about yesterday on the live stream, has 230 catches these last 2 years, and then in 2018 had a 100-catch season. So 3 of his last 4 years, like, he's been doing it, and he's less accomplished than the other 2 guys that got big money. But their resumes are just long and distinguished. Deebo's really is like a 10-game stretch and then the playoffs, which was awesome. But, like, Tyreek Hill's had 50-game stretches. Stephon Diggs has been doing it for multiple franchises. I was at the Minnesota Vikings game. The only touchdown they scored against the Niners in the playoff game was him. And then he goes to Buffalo, and boom, what's he immediately? Josh's best receiver by a mile. And one of the best, 1-2 combinations with his quarterback in the league for a long period of time. I think Deebo has the worst argument out of all the guys. Out of the 3 guys that signed and the 3 guys left, DK and AJ.
Yeah. It's definitely, probably the most complicated. Maybe that also means worst, right? It's complicated because you can't say to him, you haven't put it together. Because when he did finally put it together, it was so incredible, right? They asked him to do so much, and he did it. He's, like you said, he took them to the playoffs. He saved their season, John. He saved their season, right?
But
And
I don't even think the
way that-
Niners would argue that.
No.
Would they?
No, they wouldn't. They just want him to do it again. Now, you know, the reality is this is not really about Instagram. It's about Deebo displaying his displeasure. When Kyler did it, we went, yeah, okay. We've watched Kyler for a few years now. His body language sucks. Nobody thinks he's a team leader. It's different with Deebo. Deebo's body language is the opposite of sucks. Deebo's effort is never questioned. Unlike Kyler, Deebo carried his team to the playoffs. In big games, he showed up in the biggest moments and is a team leader. I mean, he's the first guy shoulder to shoulder with Trent Williams. And it's not about so much, does he delete Instagram? What does it mean? It's about, is there about to be a contentious relationship between the 49ers and one of their most important players, right? Inarguably one of their most important players. We could argue maybe he is their most important player. And that's what it represents. Now, you know, holdouts, as you've pointed out before, they don't really, he's on a rookie contract. A holdout cost him $40,000 a day. Like, that's a lot of money. So a hold in might be on the table. And we've debated it because it's not really the way things go for the 49ers. I think it's good that it happens in April, but it is now something to watch, not because Instagram means anything, but because it represents how the 49ers most important player maybe feels right now, which is unhappy, right? Go back to what Schrager said. Just Deebo's unhappy. You want your star player to be happy.
But I would say contract negotiations in basketball, the contracts are basically slotted. So you just know how much you owe a guy, right? Based on if they're a max guy, based on, you know, their previous history. In baseball and in football, now in football, there's a salary cap, and in baseball, there isn't one. But I would say that two pretty consistently have contract negotiations that get hairy.
Yeah.
That get uncomfortable. Because the majority of players, I would say quarterbacks, and then a small percentage of like Trent Williams, Myles Garrett's, Khalil Mack's, are just an uncomfortable conversation. And I think Deebo is an uncomfortable conversation. And that's okay. The NFL is an uncomfortable place. You know, it just is. And his resume is very, very unique. It's short. That's the other. I think that's the main problem. It's short. And I think it's much easier to break off a guy when the resume is long. You know, if he had done this for 2.5 years, the Niners wouldn't really have any leg to stand on. But I think they do. And I'm just naturally going to be like, because I just come through it from the lens of how are they talking about internally, what, and I understand, like, I think they have a lot of valid arguments to be like, you know, Deebo will offer you $52 million guaranteed. And he's freaking the fuck out. Because in fairness to him, you know, everything is their own truth. He goes, what? I'm every bit as good as those guys. And in a vacuum, Deebo, you are. They've just been doing it way longer.
Right. And I think
that matters.
Like, if Deebo Samuel had the year that he just had again this year, then there would be really not much debate. He'd become one of the highest paid receivers in the NFL. Right? He might become the highest paid receiver in the NFL.
But I think part of it is like, Deebo, for you to be worth $75 million, one of your greatest attributes is you're a running back. But running backs don't last and they don't get paid. And when they do get paid, that team is immediately criticized by fans and by other teams as being idiots, right? Well, a player like Diggs or Devontae or even Tyreek, who's had some lately, he's had some hammies, but A.J. Brown would be a good example. Their only way to succeed is outside catching the ball. And they are just less likely to get taken out by D tackles and linebackers. So it's just like A.J. Brown or Devontae can just have a 12-year career like a lot of wide receivers have. Like, even in our lifetime, right, when we were kids, a lot of outside wide receivers had long careers. Like, they weren't 7-year guys. A lot of them. Think how many wide receivers when we were kids just played at, if they were good, 12, 13, 14, like had an NBA level career. Well, running backs, like, they were kind of outliers if you made it 10.
That's
right?
that's the problem, is the way that he played last year is not the way you want him to play every year.
But it's not, and it's also not sustainable, right?
And it's not sustainable. But him having that pitch, right? You don't want him to throw that pitch 8 times a game like he had to. But him having that ability that Kyle Shanahan can use in key spots does make him pretty uniquely valuable for Kyle.
Yeah, it's crazy because he had 77 catches and 1,400 yards receiving because he is, and his other great quality is once the ball is in his hand, even on short passes.
Right.
How many quick screens did he take to the house last year? A minimum a couple. Like, and they weren't 40 yards. They were like 60, 70 yards.
And here's the other thing I think he would argue. There's a part of me that you haven't seen yet because the quarterback I've been playing with can't really play. I know you guys don't look at me like a downfield outside receiver, but I can be a downfield threat if we have an offense that would allow me to be that, right?
I think the Niners would be uncomfortable giving him like $60 million guaranteed. But do you think if they put that on the table, he's turning that down? All three other, I guess Devontae got 67. The other two guys got 70 and 72.
They put him at fourth, right? It's hard to say no to $60 million.
But what if we did like a 4-year, what if it was basically 4 years, $100 million and 60 guaranteed? So you get that high, average per year that the guys love, but it's really the 60 guaranteed is what matters.
Yeah.
So it's essentially like a 2.5. You're stuck with, you're in bed with them now for a couple more years.
If I were him, I would take that, right? And I'd go, then I can get another contract. Also, right? This is not Devontae Adams' first contract.
No, it's his third.
So you do a contract now.
So it's Diggs' third and it's Tyreek's third. All
set
three
yourself
of their
up for the
third
next
contract. All three guys signed contract extensions at 28 and 29 years old.
So you would take 60 if you were Deebo?
I just think the 49ers would probably be uncomfortable around that range.
Yeah.
I bet their number when they first came to him, why he's really
51.
I could see it being in the high 40s.
Or $1 less than Kittle. Jace, thank you, Jace, says, if Deebo wants 27 mil a year like Hill, Adams, and Diggs just got, I wouldn't be mad if we got a trade like KC did. A 1, a 2, and 3 more picks. Bosa's a bigger priority, in my opinion. Thoughts?
Well, let's say, did you see, again, it was Howard Eskin put it out there, that the Jets had offered pick 10 for DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
It was his report. So it's like, he's the Eagles sideline report. You just never know. But let's just say that's true. And then basically Seattle said no. The Jets feel desperate for a wide receiver. Now, if I was the Jets, I would just rather have Olave or Garrett Wilson at a rookie contract just at pick 10 than to trade for DK Metcalf. Or let's say, would the Niners for pick 10 and an extra second-round pick, because pick 10 is worth a lot more than the 22 and 29, like all these picks that got traded for all these sweet wide receivers. Because the Jets would be like, okay, we'll give you pick 10 for Deebo, which is worth basically what? Pick 22 and 28? Like, it's worth a lot. Would you do that? Because to me, I'd say
if
no.
I were the Niners, would I do that?
Because
saying?
I don't, we've just seen it with Kinlaw. In theory, you're like, well, I'll just get Garrett Wilson will be like Justin Jefferson. And then he's not. And you're like, oh, I'm screwed.
I look at it also, this part of having Deebo Samuel, whatever you pay Deebo was partly an investment in Trey Lance. Like, you need Trey Lance to work. And the best way to help Trey Lance work is to protect him and get him weapons. Well, he has one of the most unique.
If you had pick 10, though, you could get one of the 2 Ohio State guys, probably.
Yeah, but it's as sure as you feel about a guy, are you as sure about that guy as you are about Deebo?
No, well, you couldn't. It's impossible to be.
Right. So I got to go with Deebo right now. I am at a franchise fork in the road right here. Like, for the next 15 years, if this quarterback is just good, I'm in great shape. So I need this to work right now. And I think it's probably where Deebo thinks his leverage is too, right? Is you guys need me so bad, just like you needed me before. You needed me before too to win games, but now you need me to help you look good in addition to win games.
I think one thing going up against Deebo is he came into camp out of shape just 2 years ago. Yeah, like that's just it. We've seen it, Deebo, and now we're going to give you a ton of money. Because essentially, when you're not a first-round pick, that third year for you, well, it's not your free agent year. It kind of is, right? You go nuts, you can get paid. So it's like, yeah, you double down on this year. But is this really you? And you're a team leader. You're a great guy. I mean, this year was awesome. But the previous year, you were up there in the suite with Jimmy, eating popcorn and watching shit with everybody else. Like, ultimately, Trent Williams, when they paid Trent Williams all that money, he had a decade worth of film of like, I'm an all-pro every year I play. Yeah. It's like, yeah, right? It's like if I pay like Jalen Ramsey, every time I play, I'm usually the best DB on the field. It's like my entire career. Like, Deebo, you had a 10-game stretch where you were the best player on the field. 10 games. And it was fucking awesome.
One of the best players in the league.
Dominating. Right? But like the Cowboys.
It was like Buddy. It was like Jimmer in the tournament.
Like, would you feel great giving Micah Parsons, if you could, after 1 year, $150 million? No. But if he does what he just did for 3 years, you'll have no problem. Like, your resume in football, how long you do something, and in pro sports, and I just say in life, matters, right? I mean, it's part of the way it works. And as a young person, because I remember getting worked up in radio thinking we were worth more, but like looking back, like, I'd only been there, hadn't been there that long, haven't been doing it that long. Like, there's a huge risk factor on both sides. That's why this negotiation to me of the three of them, DK and AJ Brown, DK has obviously just because the quarterback situation, who knows? But to me, AJ Brown's pretty black and white. Like, he's just gonna get a big contract. And
there's not. If I said to you, John, what is AJ Brown? There's really not much question about what AJ Brown is. If I said to you, what are any of these guys? There's not much question, right? What is Tyreek? What is Diggs? There's not any question. Even Justin Jefferson has now back-to-back years been incredible, right? There's not much question. Deebo, you go, well, when he's healthy, I know what he is. When he's in shape and healthy, I know what he is. Right. And if he's that again, then he is going to get broken off by the 49ers.
Well, to me, if you're going to do the deal, though, you wouldn't want him to, like, let's say he'd be like, well, I'll just play out this year and then try to sign a huge contract. I think you'd want to sign him right now. Right?
Well, you're kind of caught. Like, you'd want to sign him right now if I told you he's healthy and has the same year again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess he could get injured and then you're stuck.
But you're right. Like,
that's part of the risk of football.
Is it worth saving 25? What's he gonna, if he has that year again, what's he gonna cost next year? Guaranteed.
Yeah. Then he just has the argument of whatever the new threshold is. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, but it hasn't gone up that. Maybe 75.
75. And what would he take this year, you think? What's the minimum he would take?
Well, he's acting like a tough guy on social media, so I don't know.
Yeah, so what's the most you could save, I guess is what I'm asking if you're the Niners. Would he take 60 and you in the end you save 15 guaranteed?
Yeah, does he end up taking 56? That's my question.
Well, he's not taking it in April. He might take it in September, though.
Yeah.
He's not taking 56 in April. That much I know, right? You agree with that?
Well, do you feel for the first time it's like, we'll see, is he going to come to the offseason?
Yeah. You can't get fined for you don't get fined for that.
Only the mandatory minicamp he would get fined. And again, that's one you can yank it out. It's not nothing with Trey, right?
Well, you can still go back and credit their account. I thought now it's just a mandatory NFL fine.
For the training camp, mandatory minicamp, I think is a deal. But I mean, mandatory minicamp, if you're not excused absence, you holding out is a finable offense.
Yeah.
But like Brady and Rodgers and those guys, they haven't been going for years and nothing happens.